Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Roblox. I mean, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Minecraft. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be a first Q&A, Minecraft Q&A. And I will do Q&As with other videos in the future. If you have more questions, feel free to comment them and I will answer them as best I can. But again, this will be a first time one. So let's get this game started and I'll answer questions along the way. First question comes from Darth Severus. And the question is, what is your favorite movie? Don't really have a favorite movie. I love all movies. But some of the ones that I really love a lot is I'm a huge Star Wars fan, always have been. I grew up with the originals before they made changes um like getting Jabba the Hutt with Han Solo at his ship in A New Hope before they fly off with Luke and Obi-Wan. I got to see the originals where that wasn't in the scene. So when they first made it, Jabba the Hutt was not there. Now, my favorite genre of movies, I love horror movies. And in fact, I just bought Final Destination to start watching those because I only ever watched the first two, so now I'm going to try and watch the other ones since I haven't watched them yet. Give me 1 second and we'll get to the next question. And if you have any more questions on that subject, you can comment those in the video. Try and get this area lit up. The next question comes from Elijah, and it is, where are you from? Well, that one is a two-part question. Was it asked in two parts? But the answer makes the question a two-parter. Because it'd either be, where am I from when I grew up, or where do I live now? But I will answer to both. Now, where am I from? I was born and raised in Lowell, Massachusetts for 30 years. Spent a lot of time in and out of Boston, visited places like New Jersey, New York. So I wasn't, so it was only like, I don't know, a few states, maybe 4 or 5 at most, away from Sam and Brandon, frustrated gamer. It was a lot closer then. And that is where I was born and where I lived for 30 years. Now I live in Springfield, Illinois, which is the capital of Illinois. And it is also the home, or it was the home of one of our presidents, Abraham Lincoln. If you didn't already know that. So we get a lot of tourists here for that. And plus, Lincoln's tomb is also out here. So anyway, I moved out here. You know, it was not a very good city. It was a very toxic place, and it really hasn't changed any since I left. So I have no plans of moving back there. And now out here, yes, you're gonna have bad people no matter where you're at. But I am around a lot more healthier people, having a healthy kind of lifestyle, and I'm not stressed and a lot happier than I was. So hopefully that answers your question. Uh, my favorite game I streamed so far is also, and that question comes from Riley, but at the same time, it will also answer a question from Jude as to what my favorite video game is. Now, my favorite genre of games is horror games. I also love racing games and playing, doing hobbies and parkour. Not sure why I'm good at it. I just am, and the more I play it, the better I get. But at the same time, my favorite game and my favorite game I streamed this year is definitely Bendy and the Dark Robot. Anything Bendy is actually has been my favorite game. The Ink Machine was really great. I kind of love the cartoony look of it, the aesthetic, because it fit with it goes with the story, since the story is a cartoon studio. Well, is about a cartoon studio. So naturally, the villains, the heroes, all of them would be cartoon characters. And that Bendy and the Ink Machine was really good. Nice, good introduction. Wasn't too keen on the being an errand boy for chapter 3 in that game. It was kind of very tedious, very monotonous. And in my opinion, not really kind of didn't have any impact towards the story. I'm not gonna lie. While Evil Alice, or as I have called her, Malice, um, I mean, I get that she's a big part of the story. Her errands, not so much a big part of the story. Completely not needed. I mean, I get that you wanted to have tasks and stuff that she has you do, and that, you know, or have something from her that is part of the story. But I think they could have came up with something different instead of having you do all those tasks. Because it just became very time consuming, and after the first 2 or 3 they asked you to do, I'd have to say it was kind of boring. And it didn't seem like it was at all necessary to the game to me, which is a part of why I found Dark Revival was better. It was better story wise, it was better action wise, and you still had to do things, but it wasn't so much errands and all of it. Because you were getting items and getting things that were needed that were part of the story. And I'm actually looking forward to Bendy the Cage to see what the next part of the story is. Now, I'm hoping it's not the final chapter of the story, but we don't know. And if it is, I'm hoping they tie that package off with a really big, nice, flashy bow to make it really good. Make it end really, really good. Now, I did like the other games. Poppy Playtime, Garden of Banyan's not bad. I did struggle with some of those a bit. And they're good games, just not my favorite. And the last question goes into what made me start a YouTube channel. what made me start is my son got me into watching YouTube and we kind of shared that in common, enjoying watching that thanks to him getting me into it. The first channel we started with was actually FGTV, watching that family playing the games together and having the channel. Now, I did stop watching them after a while because it kind of got commercialized, especially the older family got. But this was many years ago because I've been watching channels like Beautiful OB, Komodo Gaming, Frustrated Gamer, Spy Cakes, and that for anywhere between 4 to 6 years now. I've been with those channels watching them. And those are now my favorites. And watching their channels and some of their videos got me into other channels like Kylie Kean, Sam Tabor, that I watch from time to time. I don't watch every video because it is a lot of channels to keep up with, a lot of videos. But try and watch as much as I can. Anyway, I love seeing what they do. I love playing games. And I've been looking for something to do at home. This is going to take a while for it to become a job, if I can even make it that far. I know some people don't. But it would be a nice job to do from home. I thank you for your questions and keep them coming. Axolotls. We got 3 axolotls. Make that 4. 5. Oh, we got a pink one. We got a pink axolotl. It's a cute little guy. This will be our first sighting of axolotls in the wild. Don't think we can go any further here. Not without falling to our death in that ravine. We're not going to do that. So let's get out of this side. Oh, the axolotls are on land. There's brown, there's white and pink. They're out of the water. Alright. I'll get out of the spot. Okay, let's get these areas lit up. All right, I guess we'll finish that later. And we'll go to the other tomorrow for the next video. Thank you all for joining. Hope you enjoyed the Q&A. Again, if you have any more questions you want to ask me, please post them in the comments and I will do more Q&As. And we will get back to streaming as soon as we can. Things are starting to build back up. That's gonna get my schedule back and going. So have a good night. Thank you for joining.